Hey there friends, welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm of course Paul Glasgow here, the one and only Truth Pimp, dealing you a vulgar display of logic and reason on a daily basis. You're going to get a lot of it today. You're going to get FBI statistics, you're going to get all facts, you're going to get some opinion because that's mine, but I'm going to wrap that in a multitude and a nice sugar-coated fat amount of facts that are indisputable, and anybody who wants to argue with you is going to be wrong. Let's talk about our favorite gay bigot, Don Lemon, the disgraced CNN ex-mouthpiece who spent years screeching about the supposed danger of white men in America. The guy can barely go 5 minutes without mentioning how he thinks white men are out there terrorizing the country. So if you missed it, and you probably did, because nobody watches this guy, nobody sees this guy, nobody watched him when he was on CNN, much less now. But I feel the need to point out his lies and hypocrisy based on his most current statement because he talks about white men being so dangerous. I kind of take offense to that, especially when it's a lie and it's wrong, being a straight Christian white male myself. Here's the clip.
White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me? I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
But here's the part that Lemon conveniently leaves out. Either he doesn't know it or he's purposely trying to cover this up. He himself, as a black man, is one of the most dangerous groups of people in the United States. And no, I don't mean a gay man, not unless you're thinking dying of AIDS is the most dangerous thing out there. No, I'm talking about a violent crime. That's not my opinion. That's straight from FBI and DOJ statistics. Black men represent less than 6% of the population of the United States, but around 28% of violent crime arrests. White men, by contrast, are less than half as likely per capita. Now, per capita is confusing in a lot of cases for violent black men to understand because they don't want to understand it and likely they're stupid. But it makes a difference. You can use percentages all you want and say that, oh, well, white people are responsible for a larger percentage of crime in the country than black people. Well, that would be a stupid way of looking at it. And actually, a clear evidence that whoever says that failed math in school because it's very, very clear. When you have a much lower percentage of a particular race, that is, you should expect to see a much lower, if all things are equal, a much lower percentage of that same violent crime statistic. But let's use per capita. If you don't know, those of you who are covering for Lemon, per capita is taking an equal look at what your representation is to the population and making that equal to the overall statistics. And the numbers are earth-shattering. They should not be this high for black people regarding violent crime. More specifically, black men, because they do conduct most of that crime. So coincidentally and ironically, Don Lemon is more likely to be involved in violent crime than me. And here's where it gets laugh out loud absurd. Don Lemon is married to a white man. That's correct. That dangerous element that he is trying to warn us about being broken, he's actually married to one of the most broke white men. I mean, dude, what kind of overt fudge-packery is this? I tried to spare you guys the gruesome details of the actual engagement between these two fudge packers, but you get the general idea. So he's living on the edge, right? I want to flirt with danger. The most dangerous element in society is white men. So I want to hook up with one because I like to live on the edge like that. So the same demographic that he warns us against, he's snuggling up with at night. Guess it's only dangerous if you're outside his bedroom. Oh, those poor dogs. I wonder where the peanut butter is in that house. The dude has no problem slandering millions of Americans, but his own personal life tells a much different story. So let's shred this thing with a little bit of facts. Black men, approximately 6% of the population, responsible for nearly 28% of violent crime. White men, 27% of the population, responsible for 42% of violent crime. That number should be much higher. In fact, if the population of black men to white men, the white men represent 5 times more of the U.S. population, so you would expect that the violent crime arrest rate, if all things are equal, would be 5 times that of black men, and it is absolutely not. So let's be honest here, Don Lemon is playing the race card for political reasons, for views, for clicks. If he doesn't know these statistics, he's got to be one of the worst journalists on the face of the earth. Because even people who are mad at these statistics and the statistics hurt their feelings and they run from them, they still know these statistics are true. I mean, you can run from these stats all you want. They still exist with the FBI and the DOJ. And we know currently those numbers are probably a lot softer from the FBI than what they probably should be based on internal politics within the FBI and the DOJ. Don Lemon himself is a living, broken contradiction as it stands. The next time he tries to lecture you or America about, quote, white male violence, remember that he's not just wrong, he's a hypocrite hiding behind privilege and selective outrage. If you think the media's hypocrisy and that of Don Lemon needs to be roasted publicly, like I'm trying to do right now, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Let's let people know the truth out there. And I want to ask you a question. Please comment down in the comment section down below. Is Don Lemon a racist for lying and making up stories and making up lies about white people? Or am I the racist for putting out factual data and actual statistics from the FBI that prove that he is a liar? Don't forget, guys, if you're looking for a book to educate yourself and to educate the idiots out there who can't think for themselves regarding mass shootings, go to damnliars.net. Again, damnliars.net, and get my brand new book, Damn Liars.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.